My hair's a mess, but that's okay. I have the ultimate formula for you on how to start some brand new pursuit in your life. Each and every day, we're trying to do better every day. So, if you're trying to do something new, you're trying to kind of push your boundaries, push your barriers, and become a better person every day. You got to, change your habits, change what you're focusing on, and seek to do better every day. So, I'm going to give you some structure. What to expect when you try something new, when you do something different. You get a new job, you start a new course, you start a new program in school, or you're starting a workout regimen, a new diet, whatever it is. How are you going to feel? This is something that I made up myself. It is the week by week formula. I made it up by myself because, well, it was an experience that I went through, like, just, in real time. So I'll talk about that experience. I'll talk about what you're going to expect and how you can, build the habits to pursue these great things every day. So the week by week formula is pretty simple. I'm going to give the example of what I went through. So let's say I want to wake up early every morning. That's what I went through. I want to wake up at 6:30 and start my morning with a workout. The first week will be fine. You'll be motivated. You'll be in that honeymoon phase. You'll be riding the high. You'll be like, oh, this is great, man. I'm feeling great. Things are good, fun, amazing, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be waking up early, but I'm using my waking up early in the morning as an example. Weeks 2 and 3 are where it's the hardest. Weeks 2 and 3 are where most people quit because the honeymoon phase is over. You're facing the reality of your situation. It's harder than it ever was. For me, waking up early, I felt more tired. I felt the kind of strain of being tired every morning. So in the moment, I was like, yeah, if I stop now, I'm only 2 weeks in, 3 weeks in. So a lot of people quit there because it's at the hardest point, and you reach the point of the most tension, the most resilience, the most pushback from whatever you're trying to do, right? If you're trying to go to the gym, it's the same thing. Week 1 will be the honeymoon phase. Week 2 and 3 will be hard because now you actually have to establish that level of consistency in your mind. That is to say, yes, I'm going to go to the gym, and yes, I'm going to be consistent with it. I'm going to go 3 times a week, 5 times a week, whatever your number that you set. It's what you got to do. And with my brand new job, I'm kind of feeling the same type of thing. But weeks 2 and 3 are the hardest. Only once you get past week 3, if you persevere, you get past week 3, you get to week 4, you kind of feel that within yourself that you've actually managed to push through the hardest point. Things get a little bit easier. And then from week 4 and beyond, of course, you will have challenges, but for the most part, you have now set the habit, right? You know it's like 20 days to set a habit. So it's right in that point. It's right around that time where you kind of have that habit formed, and now you've finally gone through the toughest point, and you push through, and really it kind of becomes easy, automatic now that you finally push through what you've push through the initial barrier. So from week 4 and onward is when it becomes easy to be consistent. So when you're trying to start up something, when I saw with me, when I wanted to wake up early in the morning, first week was great. Second and third weeks, I felt super tired, like, more tired than I should be. But then, I was like, no, I'm not going to stop now because I've already started, right? I'm here. I'm trying to make it as a professional footballer. I want to be more disciplined in myself and consistent with something. So I pushed through it. And then by week 4, you get used to it, right? You're used to the feeling of tiredness. Week 1, you don't really feel it. Weeks 2 and 3 are the worst. But the feeling of tiredness is probably about the same. It's just a psychological difference. That after a week, you actually start to feel the strain. And after 3 weeks, you're finally starting to kind of get used to it. And your body's starting to adjust to this new schedule. So from that point onward, it was super easy. And I think I woke up every weekday at 6:30 in the morning for 8 months, maybe straight. I think I missed a couple of days because I had a couple of sicknesses and pretty bad injuries. But apart from those couple of days I missed, it was every single day, holidays included, Sundays included, because Sundays I had to go to the gym in the morning. And I would just sleep in 1 day a week on my game day so that I could rest up and be ready so I can actually have a full 8 hours of sleep and rest up and be ready to go for the game, right? But apart from that, I wake up early 6 days a week. I was up at 6:30 every single day for 8 months straight. And only when a couple of events happened to kind of throw me off of it was when I kind of lost that consistency. But at this point, because of what I did, now I was able to get back into it. For the last couple of months, I have been waking up at 6:30 every day as well. So I've been able to get back into that routine because I kind of cemented in my head that this is something that, I know what I'm dealing with. I know what the challenges are, and I know how I'm going to persevere to get through them. So that's the case with every single thing in life. That is what to expect when you want to pursue something, when you want to start a business, when you want to do something that's a little bit outside of your comfort zone, a little bit more than what you're used to currently. That is how it's going to be. The first week is going to be the honeymoon phase, the happy-go-lucky, I'm going to get rich, I'm going to make money, I'm going to get so fit, I'm going to lose all this weight, whatever the thing may be. You'll be so excited and hyped and motivated about it, then the motivation will drop. And you'll feel the pain, and then a lot of people will quit. Why do you think people that do New Year's resolutions by February aren't there? 90% of people aren't doing their thing anymore. People want to lose weight. In January, the gym's so crowded. By February, it's empty. It's a ghost town. Why? Because they haven't set up that structure in their mind. They got that first week they were grinding, and then those second and third weeks they were hit with that motivation crash, and they haven't built the discipline in their lives to keep going through those tough moments, through the worst feelings, to get through that to the final weeks of the month and to beginning months of February, to finally, to actually cement that consistency in their mind and actually have that habit be truly formed of going to the gym, for example, because that's the biggest one, the gym. That's why I don't think New Year's resolutions matter. I think if you want to do something to improve your life, do it now rather than wait for the day. And of course, that'll probably be the New Year's special. I'll talk about exactly that. And, of course I have that, right? If you've watched some of these episodes and you know who I am, you're probably like, yeah, of course that is what he thinks. But that's truly what I believe. If you want to improve in your life, do it now. Why wait, right? Why wait for the day? Do it now. Start now. Doesn't matter. The time of the year doesn't matter. It's just a different day. That's it. December 31st to January 1st is a different day. It really is. And, I've done plenty of workouts on New Year's Eve. I've done plenty of gym sessions on January 1st. And, I don't use the holiday as a holiday because it's just another day, man. And, okay, you can spend good time with your family, sure, but you got to get done what you got to get done regardless. And you got to pursue things regardless. So why wait? Do it now. So many people fail New Year's resolutions. It's in the stats. It's in the facts. So I'll talk about that more when we get to that day. But this exact formula is the exact reason why people fail. Because they don't have the discipline to get through that third week and into that fourth week. It's not going to be exact. Of course, it's not an exact science. It's more so like there will be a point at some point around the 28 mark, around the middle of the fourth week, fifth week even, where if you made it to that point, you start to feel like, okay, you know what you're doing. It's automatic now. It's a routine. You're actually now fully into it. You're fully dedicated, ready to go. And that's what's important. So when you're pursuing that thing, that's what's important, to be consistent in that way. And understand there will be setbacks. You'll get to week 10 and there will be a problem that challenges you. You'll get to week 35 if you make it that far. Which if you get to week 5, odds are you'll make it that far, right? You'll get to week 30 and there'll be some crazy thing that happens. Things are not going to be perfect. Routines are going to get cut short. They're going to get kind of destroyed and distorted a little bit because of the fact that you can't predict anything in life, right? You don't know what God's plan is for you, right? Truly, you don't know what God's plan is for you. So you do certain things, and then certain things happen to throw off your plan because it's God telling you that His plan for you is different than what you have. But one important thing to note when you're on this pursuit, when you've made it past that point of difficulty in those second and third weeks, that you gotta always be looking to adapt and change and improve. Because that's the problem with habits. I made a video about it. You can go watch it. It's in the cards right here. That's what makes it so hard to improve. Is you build the habit. That's why you have to be careful. You build the habit and then it becomes automatic. You just kind of do it, right? But you don't actually seek to do better. You actually found you found a new level, but it's still a now new comfort, contentness where you'll kind of fall away, right? You always have to adapt. The best way to do that is at the end of every week, do a revision. See what you accomplished this week, see how you grew, see how you got better, measure something. Or do a quarterly revision every 3 months. at the end of the month, thoroughly go through absolutely everything you've accomplished and everything that you're going to change and everything you're going to do for the next quarter. You have to find some way to do like revisions in that way, because to keep you in check, right? To keep you honest with yourself. You don't want to be automatic. You don't want it to be automatic, right? Like when it comes to waking up in the morning, right? I can't have it be automatic because, well, I have to do different workouts, right? I'm not just going to do the same workout. I'm going to do some leg stuff, some upper body stuff, some ab workouts, maybe some runs, some cardio, sometime, whatever, some combination in the morning. But because of what's happening later in the day, I have to plan and decide what I'm doing. Today I did a leg workout. Tomorrow's probably going to be abs. But the point is, it's not the same. It's not the same all the time. And like, I don't just say, oh, Monday's legs, Tuesday's abs, Wednesday is upper body, Thursday's cardio, Friday's abs. No, that's not what I'm doing, right? I'm always changing what I'm doing week by week because of what's happening in the week. I'm not going to be automatic with it. The only thing that you can be a little more, I can be a little bit better with actually, being efficient and getting into the workout quickly, which I don't really do. Sometimes I take like an hour, a little too long to actually get into the workout. So that's something I can do better in, right? I don't want that to become an automatic feature, a part of it, where I wake up at 6:30, but then I come down and I waste time. No, I have to wake up, I have to come down and do it properly. So there's always things you can find to improve in whatever pursuit you're in. So find them, right? Find them, change, improve, and adapt. Because if you're always changing, if you're never comfortable, right? Don't get comfortable. If you're never comfortable, if you're always changing, you're always improving, you will stack upon it new habits, better habits, and greater things to actually push you in the right direction. Whereas, of course, if you fall victim to just automatic, things, and you're not intentional with how you behave, with what you do, with what pursuits you're on, you will slowly fall out. You'll slowly fall off. And then before you know it, months have passed and you aren't at the state, you're nowhere near as successful as you were. And then you realize what happened. Well, it's because you got to a point of contentment, a point of comfort where you stopped seeking to improve. The second you stop seeking to improve and do better in life is the second that you fail. And that is absolutely true. It's the same thing on these pursuits. So understand that is the basic formula. And I'll give you a little summary before I wrap up this episode, because I gotta go. Week 1, honeymoon phase. It's going to be easy. You're going to be hyped. You're going to be excited. You're going to be motivated. And then there'll be a crash. Weeks 2 and 3 will probably be the hardest weeks. You'll start to feel that pain. The pain might overcome you. You'll start to ask that question, why? Why did you do it? Why did you start? And well, you have to be disciplined enough, and you have to have that internal meaning to have an answer to that question, that why question. Because if you don't have an answer to that why question, why are you here, you will stop and you will quit. And then, well, what did I say? What did I just say, right? If the second you stop changing and improving is the second you fail. So you will find that you will never actually be consistent with anything in your life if that's the pattern you fall into. Constantly, quitting after the second or third week, because those are the hardest moments. That's when the most people quit, because it's the hardest time. It's when reality starts to hit you. You start to actually feel the pain of your pursuits, the fact that the pursuit is not going to be easy. You start to feel it in weeks 2 and 3. But if you can find that internal meaning, answer that question, why you're here, put it on something greater than yourself, you can actually persevere, have the discipline to keep going and push through. And by the time you get to 4th week, 5th week, things start to get a little bit more automatic, and you start to actually finally build that habit and get into that routine where it's now normal for you. You're not feeling any extra pains and terrors, even if things will happen, and even if things will throw you off and things won't be perfect. For the most part, now you're in that state where you've actually, made that improvement officially in your mind. You've officially psychologically made that improvement where now you are not going to stop. You're going to keep going because you've built that habit. And that's what you're now moving towards, right? Is your new goal that you have now started to pursue by the 4th week and beyond. But be careful, because you can get too automatic and you can fall into just, doing the same things every day. So you always have to do weekly or quarterly revisions to make sure that you're always changing, you're always adapting, always improving on the pursuit that you're on. And in the pursuit or starting new pursuits, whatever you can find the balance in your life, you have to do that through experimenting. You can't do that just by theory crafting. You have to actually go out there and figure out what you want to do with your life, how you want to balance it, and what disciplinary route you want to take to do better. So that's what I'll say. That is the formula, the ultimate formula for how to do difficult things and how to actually pursue and persevere during the toughest moments. That is what you absolutely have to expect whenever you decide to do something that steps outside your comfort zone. Do something that you've never done before. And I encourage you to do it. Try, start, right? Start. The best thing you can do is take action. The best thing you can do to counter those beliefs and feelings that you'll feel in the second and third weeks is to continue to take action. Don't think about it too much. Just go. Make those improvements, make those things happen. Whether it be a workout routine, waking up early in the morning, a diet, starting a business, starting a new job, starting a new school course, whatever it may be that you're trying to do right now, you're trying to pursue right now, or I don't know, it could even be like learning how to play the piano or something, right? Whatever it is that you want to start doing, that you're trying to do, to build that level of consistency, you have to get through the fire. You have to walk through that fire and come out the other side ready to go. You've made it through the toughest moments, which are in the second and third weeks, where your brain will start to play tricks on you, telling you that it's not going to be worth it. And once you get through that, you will start to realize, oh yeah, this is definitely going to be worth it for you in your life. So go out there and do that. Go out there, and I encourage you each and every day to participate in life. Participate in life, man. And this is what life's about. Pursuing these things. Doing these things that you actually really want to do. Giving it your all and leaving it all out there. There's no better feeling than knowing that you left it all out there. Right? That you gave your absolute all to something, regardless of whether or not it actually worked out for you. There's nothing better than knowing that you gave absolutely everything you could give. I see it on the soccer field all the time, right? You play a game and you've just grinded, and then you're kind of sitting down tired and wow, that was unbelievable, right? Even if you lost, because you gave it all, you gave it everything. And that's really what gives you and drives you with fulfillment in your life, is if you can truly give it your all. And then you let God work his magic and work what he can do with you in his plan for you in your life. So get out of here, go out there, go pursue those things. That's what I invite you to do today. Go watch some other videos, watch some of the other podcast videos. They will help you do better each and every day. That's what I'm trying to do. That's why I'm here, to talk about these things, to talk about these concepts that directly affect me, and sharing them with you for you to do better and pursue more in your life each and every day. So thank you for being here. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.